Predator franchise has some reputation rebuilding to do after Prey ended like this.
This is as far as you go.
And The Predator ended like this.
Being on the spectrum isn't really a disorder. It's actually the next step in the evolutionary chain.
Dyslexia. It was never a failing. It was precisely what allows you to process those visions of the future.
Now, I've always liked the Predator franchise, so
The guys, this is Disbrew. Good, what I'm trying to find the words. Good YouTuber. I like his stuff. I watch him a lot. He's made some good reviews on a lot of these ridiculous TV shows and movies. And I will leave a link in the description to his channel and his video. After you watch this one and like and sub to my channel, we're gonna react, so be sure to go check him out afterwards.
Definitely wanted to get back on form to the original movies. Except when the first trailer came about for Predator Badlands, it focused on... What I want from a Predator movie is the Predator, an ultimate killing machine, pitting his wits and his skills
be nice.
against the best, most dangerous people in the universe, namely men, robots, and aliens. At no point in any of my theory crafting have I wished for Zuma Karens.
Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey. I could help you. We might not be alone in this hunt.
There is a difference.
God, that sounds so obnoxious and annoying just listening to her voice.
Between pitting your wits against a monster and testing your patience against one.
Well, good luck with your journey.
After
Oh god, we're gonna have to listen to that snark the whole movie too.
the first trailer for Badlands then, I didn't have much hope. There were some good things in it that I liked, that were very briefly mentioned, short glimpses at cool things. Whether that be giant monsters, armies of armed men, or massive mechs to fight that look like something out of a Matrix movie. If your feelings for a movie are simply a combination of positives and negatives, then nothing was going to overcome that.
You're after a creature that can't be killed. The definitive apex predator. I could help you.
Which is a shame, because this and Tron Ares were the two movies I was really looking forward to for the remains of the year. And after more information came out about Tron, well, I was left with Predator Badlands. It seems fortuitous then that at the same time, first reactions for Ares came out, calling it stunningly visual, but vapidly inept storytelling.
Oh god. And nostalgic pandering as well. Ooh. When critics start saying stuff like that, I don't know.
Predator Badlands released their final trailer, which is much better than the first one, largely because I think they're hiding the problems. Well, at least attempting to. Its primary advantage is that it's hidden Karen as much as possible. She has a few lines, appears in a little bit of it, but is largely absent from annoying the audience.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
There's a lot of cool shots of the aliens in this most recent trailer. I watched it, or, you know, these creatures, whatever you want to call them. But her and it's a whole voiceover the entire trailer. So I think he's being sarcastic when he says that.
Everything is trying to kill you.
Now, of course, this won't actually improve the movie in any way. She'll still be in it, but it is a sign that they at least know it's a problem and may have done something to minimize the issues in the final movie.
I see what he means.
I need a hand. I could help you. I need a hand.
For the rest of the trailer, I actually
Oh, they literally changed that line. I could help you, and then they changed it to I need a hand. Slightly less obnoxious.
really liked the second half of it when it showed more of what I liked from the first one. You see far more of the big fights, Predator being cool, other Predators going to war with him, and more than just a brief glimpse at the mech to know it exists. If I analyze my thoughts about the trailer a bit more deeply, then I do begin to notice everything I'm mentioning isn't the main character. In fact, it looks like the Predators that I like are gonna be his enemies. There is a problem with the main Predator in this movie. It's why he looks differently, because he's actually, well, he's not very good. He is a runt, which is why he not only has a hairstyle from Portland, but he also looks like one of them. Yes, in the last movie, we did find out that a Predator could be taken out by some tiny little woman.
This is as far as you go.
Usually,
I never even bothered. I heard Prey wasn't horrible out of all the most recent ones, but after the one that came before that, where this massive megalodon predator showed up, and they're all hunting for the kid with autism, and they have the predator dogs, God, that one sucked so hard. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I'm done. I don't know, maybe I'll check this one out.
used to describe the smallest or weakest animal in a litter or
I thought it was a woman. I thought this was a female predator when I first saw it. I was like, oh no.
offspring. He is the weakest of his species, and we can guess that that's also why he might be rebelling against his own kind, as he has an unsupportive father who views him as weak, where Death is fighting for acceptance in his own clan. The problem is, that's not what I want from a Predator movie. They are the apex predator, the best fighters. They travel the galaxy just looking for things on their level that they...
If he was a runt, wouldn't they have done like what the Spartans used to do and just like thrown in the river at birth? Why even keep them alive in their civilization?
They can hunt. They are honorable creatures that will even lower themselves to the standard of their prey, just so they can have something approaching a fair fight. It's why they don't just blast their prey from space. They could easily get the kill without the person knowing, but because they are so skilled, so dangerous, so honorable hunters, that not only helps create interesting scenarios within a movie, but also gives predators this kind of aura about them, that when they turn up, it's like, oh shit, look who's here! This isn't an aura you should mess with. It's not one you should deconstruct.
Well, the only movie that did that was the first one.
It can ruin the entire species. I'm worried you've ruined the entire species. Now, I'm sure there are ways that you could tell this story without doing it, but the second trailer, it doesn't open up the best way to show they've done that. In fact, it opens like this. These are apex predators, skilled people. Just to survive to this age among his own warrior people, you'd think he'd have to be good at what he does. He can't even land his pissing ship. Even if something's gone horribly wrong, it's a really dangerous planet, he got shot down, he still should be able to handle that. Some kind of skill, flair, talent. I don't want to see my predator get smashed into the floor at speed like a twerp. I can't help but be reminded of a scene in Red, Retired but Extremely Dangerous.
Look at that.
Is that scene farcical? Yes. Does it make him look like an impressive, skilled assassin that has been doing this his entire life? Yes. That's the sense that I want of Predators.
I always wanted to watch that movie. I was going to watch it because it's not like super old. It's just a year or two that just came out ago. I never got around to seeing it though. That one scene right there kind of makes me want to watch it now.
Instead, the trailer seems to double down on this, at least in the first half of it. It wants you to know this guy is a pathetic waste of space that can't do anything right. He's completely out of his depth. Every time he goes to have a fight, he just gets beaten up all over the place. And it's entirely the wrong way to do a Predator movie. If you wanted to show that, okay, this guy is a runt and there are things out here far more dangerous than he is, then at least have him be impressive. He is a predator at the end of the day. Have him do stuff that would be extremely challenging, wipe out a load of people, and then introduce something worse. So that when the worst thing arrives, oh, well, he's skilled. So to beat him, that's got to be really dangerous. Instead, if you show him getting beaten by a plant, well, you're just not particularly impressive to begin with. Not only are you a runt, but I'm with the unsupportive father because you seem like a right useless git. So I still have concerns about the main character, the Karen supporting him. But what I do like are all the enemies that presumably he's going to beat. It really feels like I'm already rooting for the wrong side, which I'm not sure shows the best marketing for a movie or setup for a plot. And there are other concerns. One of the ones that has been brought up is that Predator Badlands is going to be PG-13.
Oh God, really?
R-rated. It's like, well,
it's DOA then. Holy crap! You're gonna make it PG-13? I mean, I guess you can have all the blood, monster blood, but there's other people in the, like those men and the soldiers and stuff. The Predator's not gonna kill them. What is he gonna pop a squat with them and have a beer?
were the others? Well, Predator was an 18. Predator 2, 18. Predators, 15. The Predator, 15. And even Prey was a 15. Now, they have said that one of the reasons they think they can get away with this is because they don't have any humans in the movie. And so there won't be human...
Oh, were those just robots or synths? Because all this is tied into the Alien universe now. And so they can just have them be synths. Or they can, you know, maybe all those men with guns are just 10 and 12-year-old boys who have been transplanted into machine bodies. That's what we got in the new Alien Earth show. And all that's connected to all this apparently now.
Red blood. That means they can still be gruesome and gory. It'd just be green blood, blue blood,
yeah,
and
that's what I
various
thought.
different white fluids pouring out of this woman. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not her first time. Yes, that milky substance that pours out of the synths.
I'd quite like to try and pull off an elf.
Milk for the child.
Stop, please stop.
So in this movie, maybe they've got an excuse. I do think it's a worry, though, that if this movie is massively successful, they can think, wow, that was probably because of the age rating. We're not going to have the Predators hunt humans again. One of the dangers that you can get when you remove a movie from what it is that it stays like that forever. And other people have shared that reaction with, I don't want it to be moved towards the Jurassic World direction. And considering it's aliens and robots, it's understandable, but better not...
It says, what is the best Predator movie down here? I would love to see the answer to that poll. If anyone voted anything other than the first one, what kind of world are we living in?
Standard for the future. Predator is an adult franchise, and it should be shown as such. One of the problems is if you rip apart a synth, no one cares. It's like throwing a toaster out the window, it's really not that big a deal. Certainly not impressive. Humans will always have a more emotional connection to other humans, and so if you really do want to make people care about a predator killing people, you're probably going to have them fighting people with red blood. Yeah,
Unless they give the synth, like, you know, a unique kind of artificial intelligence where it can feel and experience, like Terminator and stuff, and you really get us to buy into their character and make us care about them, you can do it, but it would take a lot of work, and no one really cares about that too much when you could just, in a Predator film, just use a human. You know?
You can have all your action scenes with all the other monsters.
Are they all clones? Look at that. I just...
Cool. But if you want a long-running franchise, you're gonna have to keep making it with humans. And just as you want humans to be dying because they're more relatable, you don't always want the Predator to be relatable. And yet one of the core issues...
I don't ever want them to be relatable. They were cool when I was like, what the hell is that thing?
In modern Hollywood is they can only write what they know. They basically write their life on screen, and that means they always write
dad issues.
In a warrior species, you would expect the children to fight among themselves and then at some age have to go off and sort of prove themselves. This would be similar to the Spartans sending off their child to hunt an animal to bring back its head as a coming-of-age ritual. Either you died to the animal or proved that you were a man now and could actually stand with the rest of the men in a fight. A coming-of-age test for everyone makes perfect sense, and if you are the Predators, being sent to the most dangerous planet in the universe to see if you survive, to hunt something incredibly dangerous, to bring back as a trophy, that's a story everyone can get behind. And yet they had to add their, Californian twist. From the description, it doesn't sound like this is a
I just noticed this. Trans kid supporter She-Hulk star Tatiana Maslany calls for Disney Plus boycott. What a line.
Ritual that everyone has to go through. Instead, this is a ritual the runt has to go through. Because he's the weakest of his species, it sounds like they're essentially sending him off on an impossible mission so that he doesn't come back. This would be the equivalent of leaving a disabled baby out in the cold so that it doesn't weaken the rest of the tribe.
That's what they should have done then, like the Spartans, I'm saying. If you were just going to wait till he gets older and then have him do this, just kill him at birth. Did you guys know that for most of the people watching YouTube videos, only a small percentage of those people are actually subscribed to those channels? But subscribing is really quick and easy. All you have to do is first to make a YouTube account, which is free, and then after that, go down to the video that you're watching, hit the like button, which goes a long way in helping out the algorithm, and then go over and hit the subscribe button. After you've hit the subscribe button, click the drop down arrow, and click the option that says all, so that can notify you whenever a new video from this creator has dropped. Subscribing is free, and making a YouTube account is also free. It allows you to keep up with all of your favorite content creators, and of course it goes a long way in helping out my channel, and I really do appreciate it. So with all of that being said, back to the video. Why is he a runt?
Even that I could understand. You don't want him weakening your species and passing on his flawed, weak, mutated genetics. The problem I have is with the next bit, that he's got an unsupportive father. Like, that's a bad thing. As a species, the Predators would be quite similar to the Klingons. That yes, we fight. If you don't fight, you're a pathetic, weak, big man up, grow up and act as if you should. Except now, in this modern time where there isn't actually a right way to behave, suddenly the guy's Why would a warrior species be supportive? They would have different ways of being supportive. If you're weak and need a fight, the supportive way of being a father would be to hit you round the face until you hit him back. But Hollywood has a massive problem with abstraction, with putting themselves into the shoes of another species and seeing it from them. Instead, they see it from the Portlandian point of view. He's just a mean father. Decker's fighting for acceptance, rebelling against the sisterhood. And rather than have it be a story about coming of age, where a boy becomes a man by overcoming challenges in his life, instead, well, I've got to go and prove all those people wrong in my clan that said I couldn't do it, which is exactly the story of Prey, which is one of the reasons Prey is a terrible movie.
Oh, was it really? I heard a few things that it wasn't horrible. I heard it was bad, but I heard that amongst all the other Predators, there was some good things in it. Interesting. I should watch his review of Prey. Is this a clip from Prey?
We need to move to easier protected ground.
In Prey, rather than...
We need to move is your protective ground. Goodness me.
The woman fulfilling her role and becoming a mother and looking after everybody in the tribe. She has a chip on her shoulder and wants to go off and prove that she can do what the men do for some reason. These stories aren't relatable to people because they're nonsensical, they're not realistic, and yet they're what we keep getting pushed in Hollywood. And I hope I'm wrong about that, because if I am wrong and it just becomes a normal child coming of age story, then the movie could be good. But if it just repeats Prey's storyline again, which is what the article described it as, then it ruins everyone's motivations.
What we need is a culturally diverse female predator that is in a culture of other male, more lighter-skinned predators, where she becomes the strong and independent predator, and she like leads the tribe, and she becomes the key to everything. That's what we really need.
And that is one area that Hollywood movies have been weak on for many years at this point. And it's very difficult to forgive people who never seem to learn from prior lessons. And don't get me wrong, I hope I am wrong about it, because they do talk about the movie as if they put a lot of care into it. Like, we insanely decided to treat the language properly like Elvish or Dothraki, except for those that are more precedent. Rather than just going, they're like, no, we actually want our language to have a structure so that it makes sense. It's a futuristic sequel with laser grappling hooks and shinier technology. And I like seeing the Predator in different scenarios against different sort of technology levels. I like his core idea behind the movie, that he wants Predator to feel very genre, like an inversion of the original premise, that he's going to be hunted by things and has to use his guile to survive, that it's its own movie, it's not reliant on memorable skeletons, callbacks, or prior releases. It's just a big, crazy swing in the hope that it drives butts into seats. But just like in the trailer, where for every character or scene that I like, there's another one that is a red flag, you get the exact same in this interview for the comments. If you want the same old Predator experience, you can hit play on Predator or Prey, or any other, whichever one is your fit. He has a desire to make something new, but I like Predator. I want a Predator movie. I want a new Predator movie, not something new. If I wanted something that wasn't Predator, I'd go and watch a different IP. That Deck is fighting with his brother in a training battleground, and he's the one that selects Kalisk, known as Death Planet, just to prove his unsupportive father wrong. Like, how is that anything other than
dad issues?
That he's fighting for acceptance with his clan, his own bloodline, and that while he too likes the idea that predators have a code, like hitmen or crime underworld goodfellas, I felt like there was something cool to explore within that culture that's different than just adding a bunch on top of it. Great. But what you seem to be exploring is the honor culture is something they did with the thing that they were hunting. They're not an insecure, effeminate Californian bitch. And basically any talk about Ellie Fanning's character is as you'd expect. Her story has the same roots, but is a bit differently thematically. It starts to go into a different branch of proving oneself.
Have we gotten any female predators yet? I can't remember. I'm trying to picture a scene where some female predator walks out and she has these massive, big, you know, calcium cannons, and they're just like bouncing around. She's trying to shoot. I'm just trying to think to myself, like, have we ever seen that on screen? I don't know. That's what we need. We need a female diverse predator with massive calcium cannons, and she just shows up on Earth and then just kazunga, you know? And she's just thick all over, and she's like bak lak dakak, and then she like establishes trade and stuff, and then all of the other male predators or all the other, I mean, you could make her a transmission, I guess. I mean, with the new species and stuff, you could do all kinds of stuff. And then have her save the day. That's what we need. Have we, let me know in the comments, have we ever had a female predator? I can't remember.
Seems to be the only theme in either movie. It was the same motivation in Prey, and it wasn't good in Prey, and now we've got the same thing for her and the Predator. There's a unique hook to her character that is exciting in the pairing of her and Deck. I was inspired by videos.
So the main predator's name in this is Dick? Between her and Dick?
Games like Shadow of the Colossus, where you have a protagonist paired with someone else who provides color and connection. Nobody wants to be connected to that.
I could help you.
You could be on a death planet, and the moment you open your mouth, you're like, alright, love. Think I'll take my chances alone. So Predator Badlands is inspired by wanting to see the Predator with someone else. This character who's the opposite of him. He's very laconic. a man of few words. Fanning is not. Imagine my thoughts on that then. Every time she opens her mouth, it's like nails down a chalkboard. And he's like, don't worry, she doesn't shut up in the old movie. You're really selling it to me. She's capable in ways that he's a predator. She's half a woman. The worst half. Physically, she's got a real thing. I think you'll find that was surgically removed from the make. That I'm excited for you guys to see. It's PG-13, watch out. We really wanted people to connect with Deck, which is a switch from the past where the Predator had always been the badass villain. Well, obviously in this movie, it would have been cool to not seem as the badass villain and seem as the badass protagonist. Instead, it seems like we got the weak, mutated protagonist, who's got a chip on his shoulder and a subscription to Cosmopolitan and GQ magazine. And at this point, my remaining hope for the movie comes from comments like, Deck,
you know what we need? What we need is just basically the first movie, but then reverse POVs. You know, show us everything from the Predator's point of view. Show him getting out of the ship, going through the forest, and then hunting down people. Have him be an evil, nasty, horrible, bloodthirsty hunter, and then have us just going through here, and he's the main focus of the story, and all these soldiers try to kill him. He gets wounded at some point, leaves, comes back, and just kills all the rest of them. I don't know, maybe that wouldn't be interesting. That would be something different. We always see it from the other people's. This movie is from the Predator's point of view, but he's the one being hunted now. No. Have him be the hunter, and then let us see it from his point of view. Yeah.
Starts to feel like Conan the Barbarian. But also, when you think of things like Book of Eli, good movie, or Road Warrior, he's very aggressive in a
Book of Eli was a great movie.
Sort of missing the other side of that. He has to rise to the occasion and defeat things with both his might and his intellect. It's very Clint Eastwood. At this stage, it's difficult to know what to think, but I could bet. If you'd shown me the final trailer as the only piece of marketing footage, I think I'd be more confident. The second half of that trailer I really liked. I liked the monsters, I liked the fights, and it had a far more stronger feeling to the Predator, as if, no, I'm the guy that can take all this stuff down, which is what I would want a Predator who's the protagonist of their own movie to be. Predators aren't evil so much as they just want to fight the strongest people that they can find. They don't randomly victimize the weak, they just pit themselves against the strongest people. In a way, it's no more different than the competitive nature men have in video games to go and see who can get top of the scoreboard. Just the Predators have the balls to do it in real life. I think there's an interesting part to that you can make a movie out of, and you could show him fighting all of these incredible things. It's just that I think it's held back by the prey motivations, the prey type characters. The, oh, but daddy doesn't love me enough, of being this completely weak oxygen thief who cares so much about other people's opinions you really have to question, are you even a person? A temperament that not only didn't used to exist decades ago, but now is massively popular in places like California, where the movies are made, and so we see it all the time, despite it being repulsive to the majority of the audience, or at least the majority of this target market for the movie. And so at this point, it's tough to call. I think there's positives and negatives on each side, and it really, for me, will end up which way it balances. Are they actually going to try and make us care about the stupid android that's strapped to his back? Or is this going to be an action movie where he just goes through and slaughters monster after monster in a place literally called the Death Planet? Because if I was going to bet, I would put my money on the former. But if you really want to make a movie for the target demographic of Predator, then it really is the latter half of that trailer, the action movie stereotype that you should be fulfilling. It's just not what the articles suggest. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours?
I agree. This movie's gonna suck. This movie's gonna blow out chunks. And I think he's right. I agree with everything he said. Interesting take. Very interesting take. Gave me some stuff to think about. I think it's gonna suck, though. I'd love to know your thoughts, too. Let me know your thoughts in my comment section down below. And please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And you'll find a link to Disbrew's channel. Great channel. Go check it out. Give him a sub. Give him a like. Very informative. You know, very good takes. And I like them quite a bit. And so, guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time.